Media. All right, welcome all you kids who are watching, or from wherever you're watching. Rancidizzo.com, Spreely.tv, all that good stuff. Remember, if you want to watch on your what is it, your laptop, whatever, you can go to rancidizzo.com. There's a chat there, which I'll log in there so I can see that. Let's see who's in the chat so far. Bev, how are you? We used to have a ton of people in the chat, then we got away from it because we're not going to lie. Some of you guys got so damn annoying with those gifts, we couldn't keep up. So we just stopped using it. So we're going to make a conscious effort to start using the chat again. If you want to chat on your phone, download. It's still Freedom Hub, I believe, but it's going to be Spreely. Everything's going to be just Spreely. You can go to Spreely.com and see everything that's available to you, including show lineups. If you missed a show, if you missed a podcast, if you will, vidcast, you want to see who else is on the platform, like tomorrow, we have both Maddie and Scott from the Burn Pit podcast joining us. You can wake up every morning with Austin Peterson and Wake Up America, Shannon Joy Show, The Dumb, Don't Unfriend Me Show, Report and Opine, and more. Go to Spreely.com. You can check all that stuff out, right? And what if you want a social media platform? Like, what if you're like, man, I'm so tired of being censored and all this stuff. Did you know Spreely.com is a social media platform? The easiest thing it looks like Facebook, and it operates like Facebook, and it's phenomenal. And here's a couple different things. Number one, you can say whatever the fuck you want. It's brilliant. Number two, if you have a problem with something, unlike trying to get a hold of Mark Zuckerberg where you can't, you can call the CEO of Spreely and he will actually take your call. April Shum, good to see you in the chat. All right, 1 minute. I should mention, too, you want to get paid? Go to Spreely.com, sign up for an affiliate program under the ad rev share, and you can get paid for sharing our show and our link and everything. Share news articles, all this stuff. All right, kids, 30 seconds. We're live. Spreely Media.
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominick Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
All right, Rants of Izzo Show here on Spreely Media. Hope you guys are doing well today. I need an intern. I keep saying this all the time. I need a damn intern, and I don't know when we're going to get one, so we'll figure that one out. Hi, kids. Hope you're doing well today. All right, rancidizzo.com, and sitting in the big chair with me today is Mr. Holistic, a great guest who we haven't had on in a long time, and it's great to see you again. There's just how the hell are you? And thanks for taking the time out today to join us.
Oh, man, I'm doing absolutely amazing, brother. Doing absolutely amazing. You already know it. It's 2024, so we're shooting for the stars, getting stuck in the clouds, successful failure. So we living, loving, hugging, healing the whole way, brother.
Swear to God, anybody needs to listen to you when you come on. It's just a matter of, I don't care what kind of a mood you're in. A couple different things you do for me. Number one, I could have, I don't even need coffee or like, a Zen patch or whatever. When you come on, it's like, boom, I know I'm going to be in a great mood. Number two, I follow the adage, you surround yourself with the people you want to be like. And if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll be the sixth and all that. There are a few group of people because I'm an introvert, and the pandemic was great for me because I stayed in. I'm like, I don't need. Fucking awesome.
I still tell people till today, thank God for it, man. You know.
But online, one of the things that I'm very pleased of is it gives me an opportunity to connect with people I want to. We've never met, man, but holy crap, do you keep me accountable for stuff in my head all the time? There's times when I am in that like just typical entrepreneur mood of I don't want to do anything. I'm not in the mood. And it's almost like when you have all these gurus out there that are doing all these videos and they're I kind of want to go in this direction, talking about sales and whatnot. It's all hype and discipline, no discipline and motivation, this and that. When you come across your content, what you start with is this immediate, infectious, I don't want to use the word positive, but it's real, it's tangible. The energy that comes from you is genuine, and that's what makes you stand out from everyone else. I want the 30,000-foot view first for those who have no exposure to you. Who is Mr. Holistic? We need to start there, and then we need to have a conversation today.
Let's go. Well, first of all, I always tell people everybody has a story. It's all about just depending on who you become in that story. So by me being Mr. Holistic, everybody knows me that I'm in the holistic business. So I've been in holistic healing for almost 22 plus years. You know, so I have over 7 retail stores right now from Florida all the way to Las Vegas. We do over 150 trade shows where we're displaying all types of different holistic healing products. So that's where the kind of like the name comes from. But the individual comes from a whole journey of just self-development, understanding that in order to be able to really elevate and just start understanding like the economy, understanding having a better relationship with money, it all starts off with what you do with the temple, how much you truly love yourself. Because if you start talking about passion projects, entrepreneurship, being in business for yourself, working a 9-to-5, the rat race, conspiracy, whatever that may be, all of them have different emotions attached to them. And at the end of the day, if that emotion brings depression, if that emotion brings anxiety, if that emotion brings fear, whatever it may be, the only solution is to love thyself. So therefore you can elevate through your actual storm. And that's what I got going on. So whatever you see me doing, I love myself first. And then everything else around me displays that, because we are what we think, we are what we do. And I stay at my feet versus my head. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So therefore, that's why we move, baby.
Yeah, the one thing about Mr. Holistic too is it's not a pushover, faux, fake energy. Mr. Holistic can and will dish out a beatdown if needs be. That's the one thing that a lot of men today, here's what you don't do. You don't go overly aggressive, but man, do you kill people with kindness. And for anybody who's ever followed you, you've got skill to back that up. You're a professional fighter, professional athlete. In today's day, where every one of us has the opportunity to have a platform to create ourselves, do you ever look at these other gurus? And I don't want to, I mean, I could name names, but I don't want to, because some of their stuff, I'll do this. Like Andy, or is it Elliott? Andy Elliott, is that his name?
Yeah.
I'm looking at his stuff and I'm actively finding reasons to kind of like, it's not that I don't like him. Here's where my view is. I think he has some very, very, very valuable content. Men who need him at that age are lost. That was my high school wrestling coach's energy, and I loved that, and that created me. That's military energy, young guy energy. When we get to an age where we have gurus yelling at us, like Wes Watson's another one, we have a lot of men. There's another company that actually creates almost like a military style event where you can go pay $2,500 and get yelled at by other men and find yourself. You don't do that, thank God. But these men are not teaching they're teaching to try to discover yourself, but they're not teaching true sales skills of pitching, closing, objection handling, this and that. And I know I'm only taking like a 90-second reel of their material. Is there a place now where that stuff is needed, where we have to have grown men yelling at other grown men to find themselves? And then as a professional athlete, why did you not take that route? You could have done that more than anybody.
I'll tell you straight up, with the promotion of feminine men nowadays in society, there's a niche for a alpha male type energy to literally market that out to individuals who are just yes sir, yes ma'am as individuals. Because if you look at a lot of his audience, they're just like performer athletes who just never really made it. So they never really created a character. They just really went from high school, maybe a little bit of college, and then into the 9 to 5 where they're just still being told what to do. So when you see his audience, all of those individuals need to be told what to do. So that's the difference between an individual who know himself, knows how to have a proper plan, knows how to write goals and accomplish goals. Like that method does not work. So when you start talking coaching, there are certain athletes you can scream at, yell at, punish, and just talk negative to that will literally make them bring the best out of them performance-wise. But then there are some guys you can just say, yo, do this, do that, do this, do this. And then they have that go-getter mentality of like, you know what? I can make a checklist and I can check off these things and feel super successful at it. So it all just depends on who they're marketing to. Me personally, I don't market to weak-minded individuals. I don't market to guys who need to be told what to do because I'm an aggressive guy. I'm a very aggressive guy. So when I go there, I go there. So I'm not in the mood of just going there when I'm trying to teach someone how to have a better relationship with money. And I'm like, if you can't create, I would always say the King David type energy for your own financial stability, then I'm not going to set a fire up under your ass to do so. What I'm going to do is literally leave really big footprints in front of you to show you that, if you just press the gas, bro, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. I'm not here to sit here and go, do this, do that, do this. Why you didn't say this? Why? No. It's not that type of part. It's not worth that energy. I'm only talking to the people who are listening, and the only individuals who are listening are the individuals who are in like-minded energy.
So I'll give you the visual. I will tell you, I'll admit this to you, what the Mr. Holistic imagery is to me for how you motivate me. I don't get motivated. I get motivated, obviously, by your disgustingly infectious, positive energy in the morning. It's awesome, right? But I look at your success, and in my mind, because I always have to create a visual, you are running backwards, outpacing me in front of me, laughing in my face, being like, chase me, baby, chase the success. And that's how I see you. That's literally how I see you. It's like if I want to measure myself with that iron sharpening iron, and I have somebody like you as competition, it's like, it's just like Apollo Creed turning around, running backwards on the beach in Rocky 3 at Rocky. It's like, damn, I got to come up and chase you. So you do have that, the gravity of you pulls men forward. Why do we, as Americans, have such phenomenal opportunity, but we have the biggest poverty mindset? Why is that?
I mean, you got to understand what we were like taught, because when you get taught the wrong thing well, you do it for a very long time. And now you got literally generations of doing the wrong thing well. Imagine a guy who works in a 9 to 5 just for benefits that he never uses. Imagine a guy that's literally saying, I can't lose this job because of the benefits, but he's healthy as hell. So that in itself is a messed up mindset when he's consistently complaining about not having enough. So you have these little phases of individuals of the mindset of people who are living in the land of not enough. Then you have the people who are living in the land of just more than enough, which is kind of like middle class. They're like a flat tire away from being in the land of not enough. And then you have guys like us who are living in the land of more than enough, just constantly preaching at the guys who are living in just enough, saying, sacrifice and stop talking to the people in the land of not enough, and then you'll make it over here. So you have that little cycle of people just living check to check, then the people who are living from check to check to check are literally belittling those people, but yet helping them back and forth. But then they start hating on the individuals who choose to change to say, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice going out. I'm going to sacrifice having fun, fancy cars, so-called buying my dream home. And I'm going to start learning and educating myself to be a smarter investor so I don't make these same generational decisions that I've been making and my family's making that got us all in the same situation. So when you look at that as an as America, like the system is built on people just indoctrinating labor, and like that's how societies is built. So when you take And I always say this, the worst type of mindset is the individual who is a slave and don't know he's a slave. So you got a whole land of people who just don't know they're slaves, and they're just participating in literally corporate slavery, and no one wants to break out. No one wants to cross the gun line. And then when they cross the gun line and they get hurt or they get a negative or they fail, they go right back into the plantation like, okay, now I'm safe.
Oh, God, how many of us looked at work as if it was safe? I thought being a cop would give me safety because it was a government job. And I used my father as an example, who just started from the bottom, grew all the way up at the top. And, you know, he was GMs and regional managers of these giant big box stores. And when I was a cop, you know, the first several years on, it was, hey, I used 0 sick days last year. Look at me. I'm a real company man. It's like I took pride in that. My last year on, every chance I took, if I had a 6 day, I'm going to make it a 3 day weekend. Because of just, you know, I'm like, why am I doing this? We started to talk before the show started about the numbers in the background, the 888. I having a bad relationship with money when I was younger because I was afraid of it, right? The Catholic background teaches you that if you feel the calling to live in a cardboard box under a viaduct on I-90, that's what Jesus wants you to do, because he was a poor carpenter. All the while the Catholic Church is drinking out of these golden goblets, right? For their probably, God knows where, we all know where they got their money. But I went through the years of poverty, don't want more, feel guilty if you want a new car, all this stuff, to then when I returned to the Christian faith after taking a long time off, I've been network marketing. And the biggest boundary for me to be successful in network marketing that couldn't break through was to get over the poverty mindset. I'm not kidding. I had a conversation with a few pastors who were not able to answer the questions I wanted to the right way. So I call a buddy of mine who he lives there. He's an engineer from the Air Force, and he owns his own company. And I said, listen, I go, Mike, I'm having this problem. You're wealthy. I go, you're biblically based. I'm like, so if I want a brand new motorcycle, and how do I enjoy it knowing that if I drop 30 grand on it, I'm going to feel guilty? And he sits there and he goes, hey, take out your Bible. And he has me open to Malachi 3:10. Now, as a Catholic, all we ever learned was Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And I firmly believe that the Catholic Church keeps that stuff hidden from you, like everything else, because they don't want you not to rely on them. So he reads this where it's the only passage that God says, test me in this. And it's about tithing. And it's simply, Mike goes, listen, you want that new bike that's 30 grand? He goes, you have to make sure that you have 3 grand. It goes out to the church. That's 10% of 30 grand. I went, okay. So I'm not kidding. I started tithing where I had no money. I had no pot to piss in. If I made $100, $10 went to the church, all this stuff. I have not been broke since tithing. And I just went, this is, and then I started to have a surplus of money that would come in. Where I was struggling was balancing the strict religious text and then the concept of like the manifesting money that you talk about. Talk about that a little bit, the power of manifesting money. What does that mean in a general sense, and how do we start to apply that? Because a lot of us feel guilty with this shit.
Well, most people understand like the affirmations of money. Most people understand like the law of attraction. They also understand the secret. So these are all like little, I would say, indoctrinated type things where very easy for people to find. But what people fail to realize that it's not easy to just manifest. It's not easy to attract things that you're not, I would say, even spiritually aligned to receive yet. Because there are several seasons that you're going to go through in your life as the character that you are. And I always tell people, especially when I'm bringing into my business, because I teach people how to basically day trade. I teach people how to basically be financially, you know what I'm saying, stable, but just from using their phones, using their computers, and doing what the banks do. So first thing first, I always tell people, you have to be willing to take out at least like 10 goals out of your head that you want to accomplish within like 12 months. I'm going to give you guys the sauce, like right here, right now. If I ever want to manifest anything for let it be money, let it be a woman, let it be a job, let it be whatever you're trying to manifest. Write 10 things down that you're trying to accomplish within the next 12 months that is around whatever you're trying to accomplish. Then you take one of those, and then you say to yourself, if God was going to bless me with one of the 10 of these things that I just wrote down on a piece of paper right here, right now, and he was going to bless me within 24 hours, which one would that be? Select that one, circle it, take it, put it on a different piece of paper. And if you're truly trying to manifest financial abundance, then don't just put it on a regular piece of paper. Don't just write it with a regular pen. Go get fancy with it. Go manifest it like it's really, like that's what's going to really, truly change your life. And then you create a plan for that, which creates a list. Now, this is where most people stop. Most people write their goals, put it on the mirror, and they look at them. They read them every day. They go 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Nothing happens. Then they go, I ain't got time for this shit. I got to start making money, man. I need to go get a job. I need to, like this manifesting things doesn't work. But what they fail to realize, once you take a goal and you put it on a piece of paper, that's in the book. Write it on the piece of paper, make it clearly, and those who see it, they will run to it. And I'm not a Bible thumper, but I know it's in there. Mm-hmm. But the key to it, you have to create a plan. And when you create a plan, you have to organize the list of the plan and then create the checklist. And the checklist is what you literally strive for daily to create that little bitty daily success. And once you start striving for little and start checking off things that are literally prioritized to what you're saying you're trying to attract, what the universe wants to bless you with, now you're going to start receiving it in abundance, because now you're spiritually, physically, mentally aligning yourself with what you're trying to attract, what you're asking God for, the universe for, whoever it may be that you're praying to. But whoever you're trying to manifest it, it's coming from in here and here. It's created energy that life, that God force that we all have in us. So any and everybody can create. The problem is so many people are so worried about the toxic and those bad attachments that they have from their childhood or from previous financial ventures and things like that. So to be able to truly manifest, one must believe that he can manifest. One must believe that God truly loves you and has favor to give you exactly what you're asking for. Most problems, people don't know what to ask for. They're asking for blessings that is not meant for them at that particular time. And that's what most people's issue is with manifesting, bro.
How do we figure out what we should ask for?
That's how you do it. So that's why you go create the list. Because a lot of people say, man, I want to make money, but I don't even know how to make money. And then I said, well, all right, how do you want it? Well, okay, what do you like to do? What do you see yourself doing? What are you currently doing right now for money? And then they'll say, oh, I'm working at Amazon. I'm like, well, how many hours are you doing in Amazon? So now you're literally giving time for money. Time you never give back. Time is way more valuable than money, because we can agree. Money is losing value by the day. So for you to go give time that you never give back, and then the money that you receive is not adding up, so you have to go get another job, then another job. So that seems pretty insane to me. When you have one job and that's not enough, you get 2 jobs, that's not enough. You go get 3 jobs, and now you're complaining about not having enough money and not having enough time and not having enough sleep and not having enough life. So life starts life in you. So you're going to have to eventually slow down, hit the emergency brakes, hit those Flintstone brakes, and say, man, I need to come up with a game plan. Imagine if you're playing basketball, or imagine if you're fighting, and you're in a fight, and every time this guy throws his jab out, he hits you. Every time you move to your right, this guy hits you. Every time you step back, he kicks you. Are you going to just let a guy keep 10 off on you, or are you going to come up with a game plan? You see what I'm saying? So when life is constantly hitting you because you're just playing defense, you're going to have to eventually go on to the attack. And that's what most people fail to do.
How many people
stick on defense, and defense don't win fights, bro?
How many people sit there and leave at the manifestation without the action, like no discipline in doing it? Oh, they think, oh, I want to be a fighter. They get in the ring and they've never, ever, ever gone to practice and training. How often is that our biggest catalyst for going, oh, this just doesn't work. I wrote it down like you said, put it up on my fridge. Well, what did you do? Well, nothing. Because even in the Bible, it's like you have to pray and act as if you've already received it, which is, for some of us, it's a very interesting concept to try to grasp. Wait a second. So I'm this. Number one, I have to get over the fact that, God loves me because I'm insignificant compared to look at the ocean. How do I don't mean anything compared to that. So then you got to sit there and get over that. almost adopt an ego and then go boldly before the Lord and ask him for something that you already act as if you were. It is designed for people who, where my mindset was, to remain as slaves over, because we're not good enough to be blessed. That is a massive epidemic that I don't know. Do you see people able to break out of that, or you're just going to deal?
I don't see them breaking out. And to be honest, it's, you need these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like in society, you need sheeps, you need wolves, you need hunters, you need traps, you need individuals selling you traps. You need all of these entities when it comes to this game of life, bro. And those who literally come in as investors of this game of life versus users and just consumers of this game of life, these are the guys that are elevating. These are the females that elevate, because everybody is in the same game. It's just how you play it versus how I'm playing it. And then once I start playing it, am I going to educate others on how to play the game? Most don't educate others. Most learn the game, elevate up, and then they just keep their mouths closed.
How are you dealing with, or how did you deal with the circle around you as you elevated on everything? It didn't matter from what it was, from athlete to fighter to money mastery. When you dealt with other people, we know people don't like seeing people succeed. So, and you've got, you run a family, you still run your health. How did you start to embrace the leeches that were on you? And were you able to identify that early and just cut that out right away? Or did you have to go through a learning curve of, man, there's some toxic people out there I cannot afford to associate with because it's going to hinder my success and growth?
Because I'm and everybody knows that you guys start seeing me on my platform. Like, I'm an early morning guy. I don't wake up and like, there's no negotiation what I'm doing first thing in the morning. Like 4 to 4:15, 4:30, my body starts shaking and I'm up and at them. I'm dropping down. My feet hit the floor, my hands hit the floor. So I'm knocking out 50 push-ups before I even go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, and things like that. So the first thing I do, I started literally just working out an hour earlier than I know most people are even up. So that already isolated me right there. So when most people are saying, yo, bro, what you got going on? I'm like, bro, I'm finna get ready to go to the crib because I'm gonna be up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Why are you up at that? Bro, that's what time I go to the gym. Oh man, that's crazy. So when I start operating on different time frames, you're just gonna lose access. People are gonna lose access to you. So that's why I always tell people, and most people fail to just literally operate at a different time frame. You don't even have to have the tough conversations with individuals that you love, that you just don't no longer need them in your life. They're just cool in your heart. You can have feelings for them. You just don't need them in your life. The problem is the people that supposed to be just in our heart and not in our life, we keep them in our life. And then once they make us upset, we throw them out of our heart and out of our life. And then now you're just sitting there with a toxic, like a toxic memory for no reason. When all you have to do is just elevate yourself up, operate on a different time frame. So when they're over here in the nighttime, you're over here in the daytime. And as you start elevating and elevating and elevating, that like you looking, I start looking in the rearview mirror, those same guys, they're no longer there. And then that's how I came up with the saying, if I can't see you going where I'm going, I definitely can't have you standing where I'm at. And if I have a hard time telling you, like, yo, bro, you got to get the hell away from me because you have absolutely nothing going on that I'm trying to achieve, I don't even have to say that.
They do it for themselves.
Operate at a different time.
Yeah, they do it for themselves. Is it a lonely place? Success is a lonely place, right? You've got family. You've got your family. It's great, but are you ever longing for other peers to be at your level? Or because you're not, here's what you're not. You're not the eat alone type, right? You're the kind of guy that you want other people to eat at the same table with you at the same quality as you. You're not hoarding it all. But do you ever get like, man, you know, it's kind of sucks being at this level and people do not want to level up?
I tell you what, I had that phase in the beginning when the transition was literally truly happening, and then I had to understand the difference between being lonely and then loneliness. There's a major difference, you know. So a lot of people fail to realize, like, because I'm alone, that don't mean I'm lonely. You know what I'm saying? I'm just isolating at this point. So now I'm just literally going into a super saiyan chamber, and because I'm a workaholic, I don't know who else. I don't know what real man right now not a workaholic, especially in this day. And so I'm a workaholic. I love freaking working. So when I start going through my hurdles, I start going through my failures, I start going through like projections that are just not even there. Numbers are not adding up. I'm not able to duplicate myself fast enough in a project that I thought I was going to be able to. I go back to just loving on myself. And then I just go back into like what brought me to this opportunity. And that was me, my mindset, my energy, that positive vibration of just any and everything can work. And if it does not work, just go back to the drawing boards of action first. Make sure the action lined up with your plan. So therefore, you can just tweak the action and maybe you'll get a better result versus going back to the attitude part of it. Because a lot of people don't believe. So when they're just like trying something that they're kind of like skeptical on, but they're still trying it, and then the results don't add up, they go right back to the belief and the attitude and they lose it versus just checking the plan. You always check the plan first, and then you go back and you say, all right, let me go get more action. So that's how I kind of deal with that lonely, like that lonely period where you don't have, it's like when you're transitioning from the people that you normally don't want to be around anymore, there's a lot of like toxic energy there because they're losing the person that they love that you don't want to be anymore. But you have not been the new person long enough to attract the higher peers of individuals to say, you know what, let me take this young man up under my wing and let me show him the ropes at this level right here. So you just go through that little phase. And what's important is consistently just moving forward, striving for greatness daily, having a proper plan. So when you're moving, you're not worried about the little sidetracks. You're not worried. You're just so focused on that little detail of just checking off something that you know that's going to help change your life. So that's how I kind of like deal with it. And then again, I have my family, bro. So it's like for me, I come home every day, and anytime the world is like giving me shit, man, I grab my baby girls. I love on my wife, and it's like nothing else truly really matters at that point anyway.
That's friggin' fantastic. I want to talk about the doing a juke, a change. About 6-7 years ago, I met a man who was a fiduciary from India, and he had said that in the next several, we were talking about the AI and computers taking over, and he had said you're already seeing the process of jobs being eliminated. And I said, like what? He goes, like McDonald's. You walk in, and there's a kiosk there. They don't need an employee there anymore. He goes, Americans are going to start going through this very massive, painful time of reinventing themselves to create money. And I transitioned through it without even noticing. Like it was, and it was very difficult for me to comprehend, okay, how do I not do 12-hour shifts of driving around, answering calls, labor, right? Getting out, putting cuffs on people, helping an old lady change a tire, whatever, to now my work is done from my phone. If I had looked, because you're talking about working, our work days they don't have hours on them. Our work days are the entire day. And when I first started doing all this stuff online, I remember being around my mother, and she would see me on my phone, and she said, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. And she couldn't, because she was born, in the 40s, she couldn't understand. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? And so I had that feeling of, all right, I'm being lazy because I'm sitting, I'm on the phone, I'm communicating. How the new generation that's growing is not going to have a problem with this. But if you have somebody who, let's just say, who's like me, who's approaching 50, and they need to change their mindset, but it's and they're not that whole sheep. They don't want to be, they don't need the motivation, but they're like, I need the direction. What's the first thing that you could kind of give somebody to break out of the comfort mindset of the daily 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 grind? Because you did it. You did the physical stuff for years. You broke out of it. How did you come to terms with, all right, I'm not clocking in and clocking out every day? Was there a hurdle for you? And if you do, and do you ever have clients who are like that and you got to walk them through that?
I mean, I deal with clients like that all the time because I deal with a lot of professional athletes. So I deal with a lot of professional athletes transitioning out of their careers, whether it's choice or force, but they're transitioning and they don't have an identity. All they know themselves as a basketball player or a fighter. So I deal with fighters and athletes transitioning into the real world. And these are some of the most troubled guys. And they'll have all the money, they'll have all of the accolades, they'll have all of the material things. But when you just sit and have a real deal conversation with them, they're extremely lost. They're extremely lost. So I always tell people, When you start going through that little zero phase, and I meet an individual who is 50, like a dinosaur. He's successful in what he was doing, but he knows that what he used to do is losing value by the day. So I tell him immediately, if you know what you're doing now is not going to be there for your children 10 years from now, 20 years from now, somebody is responsible for hitting the emergency brakes, pouring a little bit out what you already learned, and then pouring something new in so you can relearn and then pass that down to your children. So that's the little mindset that I come in when I'm dealing with guys, especially that are older than me, probably have more money than me, so they have more contacts than me. So I don't even look at that like that. I go, well, where are you right now? Where you're trying to go, and how much energy you got to literally get completed. Because there's going to be daily tasks that are going to have to be able to, we are going to have to set up. So you just start understanding, because you have to trick the mind, because the mind is only meant to survive. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. When you make yourself uncomfortable, the mind will adjust to the being uncomfortable to get comfortable. Like, it'll adjust to whatever you put it to, but the whole purpose of your mind is to survive. So when you start telling yourself, I want to be better, I want to have more, I want to do this, I want to be the 7-figure individual to literally change my family's life, the mind takes that and then it creates survival thought processes for it. And then when you start saying, all right, if my mind is already ready to survive, I'm fit to survive. So therefore, let's create the journey. Let's go down the adventure. Let's start seeing what is out there. And that's why I always tell people, you just got to get out of your head, because most old school guys are just stuck in their heads. And then you got to stay on your feet, because your feet will take you places. Your head will make you run in circles. And that's how I kind of like deal with it. And then when you put it out on paper and then you start designing it, like, this is where you're at. This is where you've been. Let's talk about where you want to go. And then once we start projecting on where you want to go, there's due diligence, there's research, there's so many other little bitty things that come in to make sure you get there. And that's how I kind of like line it up, because most people don't even know how to create a money character. Most people don't know how to create an opposite character of an athlete or a fighter, or just an individual who, like you said, just an officer who is working in an industry and have this mindset. And now you no longer have that mindset. It's hard to just understand that you don't have to go make money from muscle no more.
I'm going to tell you,
people can't comprehend it.
I'm going to tell you what you do, and if you realize you do it, it's great. Years ago, when I was in the network marketing space, I always ran into the biggest problem of people talking about, I would say, how did you make your money? Well, I just talked to 3 people a day. That was the same damn answer I got from every millionaire ever spoken to. And I said, I got so pissed off. I had said, did you just go knock somebody down in the grocery store and say, hey, I want to talk to you? What time of day did you call somebody? How did you open the conversation? Right? The basic skills I couldn't get. I went to a conference in 2020, and there was a guy teaching, very successful, and he kept saying, you got to believe. And I'd heard that shit before a million times, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he finally said it, and I understood it, and he didn't realize he said it, because a girl asked to say, well, how do I call? So you got to believe. And I sat there and went, holy shit. Well, wait a second. He's 100% right, because when I first learned how to drive a car or do any martial art I've ever done, there's a massive amount of insecurity in it, right? You drive the car, hands at 10 and 2, you drive around the parking lot and this and that. You're not going to jump on the freeway with other cars doing 90 miles an hour. But the more you do that repetitious skill, the more you believe it, the more that every single problem that's on that freeway you can count, right? I've been driving for, 35 plus years, I think. I can handle snow, rain, bad weather, other car drivers, this and that. So when I started to say, holy shit, I got to learn my skill more, then I will come up with my own answers, right? Well, what time of day do I call people? I will have that answer based on what I see from my belief. How do I handle the objections? Well, the more I believe in my industry, know my industry, from actually studying it and putting in the work, I will have the handling objections. What I will tell you for you is you're the next level. And this is what I'll say why. I've been in network marketing for 12 years. And when you speak, and maybe you can speak to this, I'm very big on vibrations and people's voices. When I speak to somebody, I like to talk to them because you could pick up so much. Every word and sentence you say goes on an upward swing Everything is positive and elevated. You're not rah-rah and hype. Just the way that you speak, your words are literally elevated through how you deliver them in the dialect and inflections of what you say. When I listen to other people online, like the Wes Watsons and the Andy Elliott's, they're almost browbeating. Their energy goes down. As you were speaking, I heard every word you said, but what I asked you a question was how people transition from their 9 to 5 into this and that. What you were giving me, because I was in my head, I'm going, all right, I got to do this and this and this and this now. As soon as I get off this interview with you, I've got more. So you just gave me new ideas to do. So that frequency that you deliver in your voice, how you deliver it, is so fucking powerful. I wish people would understand this, that you literally open up. I don't know what it is. I don't, maybe you can talk about this, but you just sparked new ideas into me in stuff that I've been doing for 12 years. So do you have has anybody ever told you that? Do you have any experience in that?
This is like
it's insane
thing to me, bro. And I tell people, like, once you start understanding your gift, everybody has a gift. Everybody's gift is within inside of them. And how do you know what your gift is? It's something that you do naturally. It's something that literally takes less effort for you to do, and you can do it like unexpectedly, effortlessly, any day, all day. And that's when I speak to people, because I already know who I am. So I'm only speaking from my heart. I'm only speaking from the gut. I'm only speaking with the proper intentions, because I'm only speaking by myself. So I always tell people, I don't talk about nobody but myself. So when I'm giving people self-development, when I'm giving people like manifestations, like skill set, I'm only just talking like my journey and how I went about these things. So I always tell people, like, our whole objective, especially as a father, as a husband, as a businessman, is to speak life into individuals. And so many individuals have been put down for so long. And I go, man, you know what? Let me just give you a proper word, because words are so powerful. They're extremely powerful, and so many people are beating themselves up. Do you know how many people have toxic prayer? Oh, God, just let me live for another day. Oh, Lord, please just help me with this hip. Like, why just the hip? Why just help you with that? Like, why such basic skill set when you're asking the Most High? You know what I mean? So I start telling people, like, yo, change what you're seeking and start understanding who you are for right now. Understand the skill sets that individual needs right now to be the individual that you're saying you're trying to be. And when you gather these little skill sets, so for myself, I'm in the retail business. I'm seeing the economy, I'm seeing the recession, I'm seeing people don't pull the trigger, they're not having the impulse sales anymore. You got a shitload of people in the malls, but no one is really buying. You see like Forever 21 bags, Claire's bag. You see just the cheaper things. So you know children are in there moving with 25, 30 bucks that their parents then gave them. You see what I'm saying? So when I witnessed this, being in the business for over 22 years, I start saying, well, hey, my sons are in the business now. I have daughters. There's no way my daughters will be in this business 10 years from now when the economy is like crashing in front of our face. So it's up to me to start blazing new trails. So I have to start conjuring up, well, what type of trails would it have to be? Well, society is going digital. As we said, when the question asked, people are being replaced by robots and literally kiosks. So that in itself shows people that everything around us is getting smarter but the people. So the society is now investing into machines and no longer the people. And our borders are being overran. So the same individuals that they used to literally give the Section 8 to and all the little low vibration benefits, you are no longer complying. So they don't need you anymore. So now they're going to give it to people who don't speak the language, but will comply.
Yeah, Bev says it in the chat. He goes, Mr. H is an example of a high vibration person. That's 100%. That's what that is. You come on every morning.
I'll even say this real quick, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine if people start getting into just the body is over 65% gel. Your skin is the biggest organ on your body. You can have a real conversation that basically attaches to an emotion that triggers goosebumps on your skin just from words.
You do it, and you do it every morning. So we're in a doom and gloom era, right? Everything's going to shit. The nation's being invaded. Yeah, war's over 6,000 miles away, all this shit, president, this guy, whatever. Every damn morning, you jump on, you got this, it's not a rah-rah, have a beautiful day in the neighborhood message. You speak about the pending economic crash and whatnot, but you're not like doomsday with it. You almost come, or maybe, no, you do. You come with your message to, yeah, this is going to happen, but there's an opportunity for it. It's not seeing the best in everything. You're creating a call to action for people to say, hey, listen, there are people who are going to not only survive, but thrive during this time. I'm one of them. You can too. Do you see that happening with people coming forward?
100%. And the more and more people start saying the awakening, most people are just waking up on the political bullshit. That is not something that is new. This is the same thing that has been going on for decades, and people just hoping for change. And this is when I start giving people shit as an energy guy on hope. And I'm like, yo, hope is for the weak. I hope my day gets better. I hope God gives me something. I hope I have enough money to pay my bill. Like, fuck hope. You got to go out and make things happen. And then you have to judge your action to be able to get the data. And when you get proper data, now you can review the data, assess the data, and then make changes and in-game adjust so the data changes. Like that's how this shit works. So when I start saying, yo, the economy is crashing, so let's hunker down. We're not going to go out there and just start spending messily. So what we're going to do, we're going to start seeing, how do we elevate? Now we go back to the peanut butter jellies. Now we go back to the tunas. Now we go back to the drawing board by choice, not by force. You see?
Yeah, Bev just said something in the chat. I've wondered. She goes, it's because it's not his timeline. The economy could be going to shit, but you got your own timeline, don't you? Meaning, just like you get up in the morning and you leave the others behind to go to the gym, and they don't do it. You do the same damn thing for, the government's going to say our economy is going to crash. Is your mindset going, yeah, but mine isn't?
Mine's not. This is what people fail to realize. Their economy is going to crash, not mine. I build my own. I live in my own world. I play the rules. I play the game. I pay the taxes. But I live by my own rules and regulations. I don't break laws, but I make my own rules. And one thing about my rules, you're not going to tell me how to live, where to live, when to live. You're not going to tell me when I need to be in my house, what I need to put on my face, what I need to put in my body. This is where I draw the line, and I can go Rambo at any given time. Any given time, I'm ready to go Rambo. But in the meantime, the first war happens here. And most people fail the war of the ears, my friend. And that's where I play security to my ears. And I don't allow a lot of messy stuff in there that is going to distract me, that is going to deter me. Because let's be honest, I have moments of depression. I have moments of anxiety. I have moments of just losing faith sometimes. But these are just bad moments. I don't allow a bad moment, a bad thought process to ruin my whole process of this project or anything that I'm trying to project with this individual, because he's a little bit tougher shell to crack than the normal individual. He's pushing when I'm pulling. He's like just doing the opposite. So I don't just go back and start just beating myself up. I go back like a turtle will do, because the people fail to realize how important the turtle is. Do you know how powerful, just to switch subjects, do you know how powerful the turtle is?
No.
To walk at a slow pace in this world till date, calculated every day, knowing that if something comes to you, you can't even run from it. So I always tell people, yo, slow your roll and just go into the turtle mode, because if you understand the turtle, it's fearless. So there's a saying in the country, they say, live your life with the heart of a turtle. Have the aggression of a lion for your goals and your aspiration, your inspiration, what you're trying to achieve on a daily basis. But walk around like a gorilla. You see, so that's the energy that my grandfather lived by, my uncles lived by, my dad lives by, I live by. So I'm always ready to beat on my chest because I have a gorilla mentality. I'm super aggressive like the lion, like the king of the jungle on any and everything that I'm trying to project. But I got longevity like the turtle. And when shit really gets started hitting the fan, I'll take my family and we'll jump into the shell and just go into the bunker, lick our wounds and just love on each other. And then I'll come on out as a leader of the family. I'll come on out and then I'll start making my slow little pace, calculated steps, boom, boom, boom. because who knows what really truly going to happen. Everybody can lose everything. And where my confidence lies is that you can't take this away from me. So no matter where you start all over in 2025, 2030, we're going to have nothing, own nothing. I've already established myself like that. I just did it through trusted entities and literally S corps. So I have everything, own nothing, but I have authorization over everything. So take it all if you want. Let's go back to zero. Let's go back to Ooga Booga days, caveman. I'm extremely excited because now you're going to start me over. You know how many times I've told people, if I could start over my expenses right here, right now, with the mindset I have right now, oh, bro, it's over. I'll be a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be a billionaire. If you can tell me control my expenses now with this mindset, I'll be a billionaire.
Absolutely amazing. Does that have to come to do with accepting? Like, at what point did you accept your gift? And I'll give you an example. It was very difficult for me to accept my personality. You know, I like to play in the shit. I like to fight. I like to cause problems. I had a friend of mine years ago that says, you are controversial. And I'm like, no, you know, I don't want to be that way. And behind the scenes, I'm an introvert. I'm quiet. But there were times where I would have looked at a guy like you and been, I want to be more like Mr. Listic, positive. Everybody, you know, likes me, this and that kind of stuff. Over time, I found that there were, of course, negative energies I was putting out there. Like today I put up, because here's the government's going to send another $95 billion to Ukraine, which I have no control over. So I put out fuck Ukraine on my social media. It's negative energy, but it got a lot of damn traction because people love that. So I had to accept a long time ago, I can play in the negative energy and still survive, but it does not own me in there. At what point, how did you discover who you were and almost like give yourself permission to run with it? Or did you ever feel guilty about it?
It's not necessarily like the guilt feeling. It's more like it's just like being liberated, like literally just like the Phoenix. It's like being born, like you're just being reborn. And a lot of people talk about that energy religious wise. But I'm going, no, when you're truly reborn and you really create a whole nother character and you embrace yourself in that character, you create a personality, new characteristics for the character, new morals, new ethics, any and everything that you don't want to be anymore, you leave all of that behind and you draw up a whole new character and you start moving into that character on a daily basis. Man, that in itself is extremely powerful. It's something that I always tell people, everybody is going to have to basically go through it. And those who refuse it, they're going to point the fingers. And those who accept it, they're going to go through their storm, bro, and then they're going to raise out, and then they're going to just keep that thing burning. So it's like, as I started like embracing just like, man, God gave me the ability to shine light. And when I walk into a room, I have the ability to light up a dark room. I have the ability to light up a dark person. I have the ability to take an individual who is operating on a low vibration, drop my vibration, address this individual, and then raise my vibration each level as he raises his to let him know, like, bro, well, no matter which level you want to get it, I'm right here with you until you get up into this purple level where you start understanding nobody is trying to fight you. Nobody is trying to attack you. I'm just letting you know you don't know what you think you know. And now you need to pour a little bit out. So all I can do is just pour a little bit in. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now, if you want it, I won't pour it. It's just that simple. You don't want it? Hey, bro, I ain't stopping you. The world needs you. I love people like you because I make a lot of money off of guys like you. Like, that's how I look at it. Like either I'm going to get you or someone else going to get you. So you better have me getting you because I'm at least love on you and get you.
I heard you use the pouring a cup analogy, and that was for martial artists. That's you empty your cup to get more knowledge. And somebody told me because I'm visual. Somebody told me the best analogy to get over that because I've been studying Wing Chun for 27 years and I wrestled before that.
I like it. I see you too, bro. I see you too, bro.
You can't get me. You could never get me to go to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class because I'm stubborn, right? And then somebody flat out said, because in my mind, emptying your cup means I have to get rid of a little or make room for a little bit of Wing Chun knowledge to go to something else. Somebody goes, fuck that. Just go get more cups. And I went, holy shit, that's stupid.
Let me say something about that shit, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask me as a businessman, how do you run multiple businesses that are multi-million-dollar business? I said, well, it's the cup analogy. So most people think to have 6 streams of income, you start off with 6 cups. And so what happens is when you start off with 6 cups or 5 cups or 4 cups, and you're not spiritually, mentally, physically even available or even there to be able to manage all these things, you're just creating them just to show you that you can do it. So that's how failure starts, number 1. So then they basically start filling these cups up with activity and action. And because they're literally running low on energy, and most of the time they have a full 9-to-5 job that is funding all of these little bitty passion projects. So each cups get half full. So now you got 6 cups that are half full. They got all of your earned money that you're earning with your labor, with your muscles in them. And now you're attached emotionally to each one that is failing. So you start pouring them out. That didn't work. Pouring it out, that didn't work. Pouring it out, that didn't work. So then you meet a guy like me with 6 full cups and you go, how did you fill them all up? And I said, well, I had 1 cup. I was filling that cup up and then it started overflowing. Mm-hmm. So I had another cup and then the overflowing from this cup went into this cup. And then when that cup started filling up, I said, oh shit, it's filling up. Let me give it some attention. And then I make sure before it fills all the way up, I bring another cup in. And then this is how you go from cup to cup to cup. You have 6 full multiple streams of income. All of them are extremely fruitful. And then when some of them are not in seasons, other are in season. And that's when you start understanding when you make money off of muscle, you get taxed the most. When you make money from your brain and from your energy, now you start saying money is making money, so you get taxed the least. And now that's how you start truly elevating. And when you start elevating individuals to start saying, hey, I don't need to use my muscles anymore to make money. I can use my money to make me money. And now that money gives me more time. And now my time, I'm going to be more creative. I'm going to be more projective. I'm going to be more like seeking more opportunities because now I understand this little formula. And then I put it in the cookie cutter concept. I copy paste and I give the same energy again, which gives me the same results. And I start calculating those results. Now you got 22 years of a business producing over 6 figures every 30 days. You branch out, you get into the multi-level marketing space. Now it's very easy to take an individual who said, man, I can't even afford to even pay for gas. And I say, well, it's not the money that you're lacking. It's the lack of creativity of the ideas to create more money. So this is where I come into the play. You see what I'm saying? Like I approach people.
I feel what you're saying. It's ridiculous because again, it's like what Bev was talking about in the chat, the vibrations that you're putting out, it's insane. And I guess one of the biggest things I was thinking about when you're talking is what you do is you relax people. You simultaneously very much elevate them, but you relax them. And we know how much easier it is to take in information when you're relaxed, when you're not guarded. So it's fantastic. I always ask you this. We got a couple minutes left. And I always ask you this. I'm going to ask you again. You give and give and give and give to everybody. When your batteries need recharging, what does Mr. Holistic do to recharge, to just keep giving to everybody else?
Oh man, I get with my family, man. To be honest with you, like there's no love like family. There's no bond. So a lot of people can't stand like most of the time their family, they run from that pressure as a man. And for me, it's like I embrace that pressure, which basically makes me turn up more in the gym. So when a lot of people start asking me, yo, bro, like, why are you trying to max out at 405? Why are you pushing almost 750 pounds on the slate? Or why are you like repping out at this particular weight? Every weight that you see me do, when I just even warming up, I'm warming up at the weight of my wife. I add my son's weight. And then I add my other son's weight. And then I add my daughter's weight. So I'm always lifting my family's weight. People fail to realize. Because at the worst day of let everything hit the fan, I'm going to be able to drag my family to safety. You see? So that's the mindset that I have. That's the craziness that I have, that I protect. And this is why I love so much, because I know I'm crazy as hell. And I'm a flash to go Rambo. So I make sure I do everything. When my tank is running low, and I feel like, oh man, I'm losing patience. Oh man, I'm about to eat somebody up. I'm about to bite somebody's head off. Man, I go home. My wife is always cooking from scratch. My daughters are always having this is an abundant smile because they're not in school. They're unvaccinated. They're pure bloods. So they're just raised with just pure love. So when I come home, all they know is like, oh my God, daddy's home, and now he's finna love on me. So I embrace, like, I'll just be really extremely transparent. Bro, it was a rough-ass day in the financial markets today. Bro, you had CPI reports come out at 8:30 in the morning that nobody was looking for. The market is in a full bull run, and bro, it dropped 1,000 points in seconds. Nobody knew. Bro, people lost their ass this morning. I'm thankful that I was not even in the market. I was just teaching. So when I started seeing that, I know a lot of my guys were in buys when you talking about the market just crashed because corporations just dump money there. They just dump money there. So when I started thinking, I was like, man, a lot of my guys took a hit. Bro, I got off. I allowed the market to calm down. I picked up my babies. I went outside. My baby had gymnastics. I said, yo, you know what? I won't be able to make gymnastics with you, but what we're going to do is I'm going to keep my other baby girl. Now I'm just on daddy duties. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like, that energy is always kind of like just fuels my tank back up.
And you've been through it enough, you know that it's going to rebound. You're going to have your timeline tomorrow, the next day, where you're going to make it just as whatever you want, because your timeline. Fuck, I love having you on. Love having you on. Mr. Holistic, if people want to wind up working with you, following you, supporting you, how can they do that?
So first thing first, my Instagram is Mr. Holistic, or you can basically go to my TikTok, which is Mr. Holistic MD. And you can literally tag me, you can literally follow me, or I always tell people, I just give you my direct number. I'm not the guy that pass around business cards. So for those who are listening, it's 702-449-4243. And all I tell people straight up, if you're gonna text me, all you better do is come with good energy. That is literally just that simple. I'm a real individual that like having real conversations with real people, because in this day and age, technology is truly taking over and people are not having real conversations. So I have a really good conversation with you just to see where you are, see how can I elevate you, whether it's just spiritually, whether it's just literally speaking the spoken word to you and getting you on your way, or we just partnering up and basically like seeing what we can do financially to help you have a better relationship with money.
Absolutely
so
love
it. It's 702-449-4243. Shoot me a text, we'll plan a phone call, and we literally go from there.
And we'll have you back. It's Mr. Holistic. Guys, have a great damn day. You're going to want to listen to this podcast more than once, I can guarantee you. Tomorrow, we got both Scott and Maddie from the Burn Pit podcast. Go out and help somebody today. It's as simple as that. And if you can't help them, just don't hurt them. Have a great damn day, guys. See you tomorrow.